I've just returned from about an 8-day trip to Mozambique with many of the leaders of the Missouri Conference, and it was a time to just refresh and reinvigorate this wonderful relationship we've had with Mozambique conferences going back for 13, 14 years. The roots of this relationship really run deeper than that, extending back to more than 20 years. But in the current expression of the partnerships, that's been going on for 12 or 13 years. Part of the purpose of this trip was to redefine and kind of renegotiate the form of the partnerships for the years to come. And so those churches that have been supporting this for years, you'll be seeing some changes as we separate some of the financial components out in a little bit different way from the partnership relationships. And this will be explained at annual conference, but it's going to give us a much greater flexibility and ability to really meet the needs in the critical areas that Bishop Yanala has outlined for us. I traveled this time with Sarah Bollinger, who is the new director of the Mozambique Initiative, and with Evie Martin, who chairs the Mozambique Initiative team, and then several members of that team, as well as some pastors and our lay leader, Brian Hammonds. And it was a good opportunity to renew relationships, to see people that we've come to know over the years, and to see the progress that the churches have made and the ministries have made in Mozambique. This is the third time I've been to Mozambique in the 9 years that I've served as bishop in Missouri, and there's a sense that there's been a real evolution in this ministry, and that now we're at a whole new kind of a turning point. That it feels like it's being passed along to a fresh generation of leaders, both in the Missouri Conference as well as in Mozambique, and this is just wonderful to see. A number of our new church starts in Missouri, a number of our just healthy and vigorous congregations have just suddenly gotten on board in a whole new way and recommitted themselves to the water projects, to the congregational projects, to the pastoral relationships, to the church relationships, and so it feels like there's just a new spirit blowing through this. I'm so impressed with Sarah and what she brings to the leadership of the Mozambique Initiative. She's completing her first year in this position, and she has inherited just such a robust ministry from the years of leadership that Carol Kramer has given to this. But Sarah brings a freshness of perspective. She herself is a young adult. She has professional training, experience in Africa, and the relationships that she's forming with the leaders of Mozambique is just amazing to see. And it just was so heartening and refreshing to me to see how she's taking the lead in the Mozambique Initiative. This was also an opportunity to reconnect with many of the people who are widely known by the churches in Missouri. Bishop Yanala was our host during most of the visits, and she and I did several things together. We enjoyed dinners together. We worked together with the leadership team from Mozambique and the leadership team from Missouri to finalize what we call referendum of understanding, which kind of is redefining the partnerships going forward. And it's always a delight to work with Bishop Yanala. Also, Ezekiel, who is widely known by the churches in Missouri, who works with the Missouri Conference in Mozambique, was present during most of our visits around to churches and to hospitals and to the Gondola Learning Center, and he's always a delight to reconnect with. My first trip to Mozambique has now been 8 years ago, and it's interesting to compare the experience now to 8 years ago. And the first thing that I notice is how this ministry is bearing fruit. How many water wells are just providing critical health resources to remote villages. How many churches and parsonages that were in the planning stage are only halfway constructed 8 years ago are now completed. How many pastors who were thinking about an education 8 years ago have now completed their educations and are offering ministry in extraordinary ways in Mozambique. And so I don't want to sound too old kind of looking back here, but it is remarkable, the change. And I just give God thanks to all the laity and clergy and congregations of the Missouri Conference who have participated in these partnerships, and I think we've got great things ahead. I think what Mozambique Initiative will be 5 years from now or 10 years from now, we're just only beginning to imagine. It'll be different. It will take new paths in the years to come, but I think we're on a good track. And thank you for all you do for the purposes of Christ and for the Mozambique Initiative and for the United Methodist Church.